Welcome back. Thank you for waiting. We are just moments away from our League of Legends match against Mount Vernon Nazarene University. We are getting the lobby set up right now. So while we are getting that, let me get the lineup for the League of Legends team. So in the top lane, we do have MC Cressman, Scott Cressman. In the jungler, we have MC Knox, Lucas Stanford. In the mid lane, we will have MC Larson, Brandon Larson. For AD carry, we will have MC Brimstone, Ian Darling, and then at support we will have MC Cowboy, David Stratton. So this will be a best of 3 of our League of Legends team against Mount Vernon Nazarene. So right now they're getting the lobby set up, and it looks like Marietta will be on the blue side for the first game. We are getting the pro draft set up. It looks like, okay, so the spectator one is out. Right now I'm just checking to make sure everything else is good. Oops, what happened there? I want to go back to the part. There we go. All right, yeah, so still getting the lobby set up, so it's just going to take another minute or so. So we are having to play the waiting game. Technically speaking, we're still 4 minutes away from the match because it does officially start at noon. So we're just trying to get the lobby going. So if you were watching earlier, so our Rocket League team, they did fall to Mount Vernon 0-3. Although the first game did go to overtime, so the Pioneers did put a good fight, but there's just some pretty good players on Mount Vernon. Or Overwatch, they fell 0-2. There was definitely some improvement from matches in previous weeks and even some of the scrims that we had earlier this week. And they were really close at times, but just couldn't quite close out the game. So hopefully we'll see our League of Legends team come out with a win so we can take away at least a win for the Pioneers this weekend. After all, it is homecoming weekend, so we do want to try to be victorious. So of course, we do have our football game later on today. That'll be 2 o'clock. So if you're in the area, please be sure to check that out. If you're in the area, you can actually come over to the gathering place right now. We do have our broadcast up, or this match being streamed on our projector and the TVs around the gathering place. So you're welcome to come by and take a look at it, or you can just watch it from where you're at right now. So, okay, it looks like the lobby is good. At least everyone is there. So it looks like the roster for Mount Vernon will be Res Daddy in the top lane, Baron is weak in the the jungler, Sharpies in the mid lane, Grumpy Gungan as the AD carry, and One Shot No Kills as support. So right now they're just kind of getting things figured out. Yeah, we're getting the pro draft set up. So let me go ahead and get that to you, so that way once it starts, that we will be underway. So we'll get that going, so that way as soon as we start, we will not miss it. Yeah, so they're just working out a couple of things here. So we should be starting the game in just a few minutes. So as soon as that's going, you will see the timer up in the pro draft. While we're waiting, I'll also talk a little bit about the Rainbow Six team. So yesterday, they did play their match as part of Collegiate R6. And although they came close a couple times, they did fall 0-2 to the opposing team. I can't remember the exact name. I was not familiar with the university. It was like Cal Poly something. But okay, so we are now in the ban phase of the game. At least the draft phase has started. So we will see what Marietta decides to do for their first bans. I'm just kind of waiting here because I don't know what they're going to pick. So it looks like they're going to go with the Morgana first. And Mount Vernon will be banning the Zoe. She's an interesting mid laner. And Marietta's going to be, they're hovering over the Mundo, and they do ban the Mundo. An interesting pick. So they must see something with Mount Vernon, and we see the Ari getting banned out. So we will not see Larson playing Ari. So far their bans have been targeting Larson in the mid lane. And while Marietta's is kind of saying they don't want to go up against Morgana's support, they don't want to go against Mundo. And Mundo could be top or jungle, but they're going to ban him out anyway. So they must have seen something there they don't like. Now we'll see with about 5 seconds left what their last ban is going to be. And it looks like it's going to be the Mordekaiser that gets banned out. And finally, Jarvan gets banned. So now Marietta's going to get their first pick. So we'll see what they decide to prioritize. I mean, it could be just about anything. It could be they can go for the jungler. They can. I wouldn't expect them to pick their mid champion just yet. I mean, they could prioritize an AD carry, and it looks like they're going to go with the Leona for support. Just getting that right away. I mean, that could be like a Jinx Leona combo, or you could have even like a Caitlyn Leona, but we'll see what happens there from that. And actually, Mount Vernon seems to be taking the Caitlyn. So we'll see if they decide to go with their support as well, if they decide to hold off for another pick. It looks like the Volibear, so that's an interesting one. We don't see that too much nowadays, but they decide to go with that. So we'll see what Mary decides to do to respond with it. I mean, Marietta could go ahead and pick their. So it looks like they're going to go and lock in the Sejuani in the jungle. I mean, Nox does like Jarvan and Sejuani are both very popular jungles, and with the Jarvan being banned, it just kind of makes sense to look in the Sejuani before it gets picked or banned. So now we'll see what Mary decides to go with next. In the top lane, they're going to go with the Kled, so one of Cressman's favorite champions. So now we'll see how Mount Vernon's going to respond, knowing that Sejuani is going to be jungle and Kled's going to be top. It looks like they're going to go with the Gangplank, so that should be a Volibear jungle and a Gangplank top. But you never know. Sometimes people will do all sorts of weird lane matchups. I'm sure I've said numerous times using Mundo as a support champion rather than a top or jungle. But that was many years ago. So now we're into the second ban phase. So we'll see what Mount Vernon decides to the ban out here, because Marietta still needs to pick their AD. They're both their carries. And it doesn't look like it was a ban picked. So we're trying to get what it is. We're not hearing from Mount Vernon about the pick there. It looks like Marietta's going to go with the Vigar for the ban, so they will not see that in the mid lane. We're still not hearing back from Mount Vernon about the bans. But they're not saying anything yet. So it looks like Ezreal is going to be banned, but we still don't know what that fourth ban is. So I don't know if that just means that they give up the ban because they're not saying what it is. Marietta still has to ban another champion. So it looks like they're going to go with the Alistar. So at this point, I think it's just that Mount Vernon's giving up the ban because they have not said in the client what that ban is. So it looks like interesting that Mount Vernon's already picked their. That should be a mid Nico, and they haven't locked in their support yet, unless it's a Nico support or a Volibear support, but that would be very weird. So we'll see what Mary decides to do. So they are going to go with the Jinx Leona, very good comp in the bot lane. And now we'll see what Larson is going to be playing in the mid. So there could be a variety of options. In fact, with this comp, you can go with just about anything. You can go with the Syndra, the LeBlanc, but we'll see what they decide to lock in. It looks like it will be the Syndra in the mid. And Mount Vernon decides to use Thresh as the support. All right, so it looks like we have our up here. Now to see if everyone is ready. So once they are, in fact, when we get the audio back up, we'll go into the client into Champion Select. Okay, so it looks like they're going to add a expected. Okay, someone started it up already?
Your worst decisions will haunt you.
It looks like it. So I'm not so sure. Yeah, so I think they were going to try to get a spectator in, but it didn't happen. So I'm trying to see. I think we're going to end up restarting the client. I'm not sure what's going on here at this point.
You don't think you a big sissy?
Yes, I think they're just going to continue on because even if they wanted to add a spectator, they can do so in the middle of the game. So after Champions Select, once the game starts, anyone that is friends with the players, they can add them in spectator. So I think that's going to be fine. So right now we're just going to go through the champions that were selected.
My will.
So now the players will pick the champions that they selected in Pro Drafts. I think we talked about this every week, but just as a reminder, one of the advantages of using Pro Draft is that if you have a player with a limited champion pool, that you can still pick the champions you want without having to worry about swapping out players. Because, for example, usually you would want to save your mid lane pick as the last one, but that's usually done by your support. So if your support has a limited champion pool, then you can't really pick a good mid laner because you're limited by the champion pool that your support player has. Whereas with Pro Draft, you don't have to worry about that. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of teams actually end up using Pro Draft.
Good to know.
And it looks like the Akali was the one that was banned. They just never told Marietta that is what they were banning.
Your commands tire me!
So at least that's good to know. So it would have been very interesting if Mount Vernon banned a champion that Marietta picked because they weren't told what the ban was.
I get it.
Now I'm angry.
Alright, so at this point we're just having them pick their champion, so even once they get that set up, we will still have to wait a couple minutes for the spectator delay. It looks like all the champions have been locked in. So in about 50 seconds the game will start for the Pioneers, but then we'll still have to wait 3 minutes for the spectator delay to kick in, but then after that we will be able to get the game for you. So at this point we just kind of have to wait a couple of minutes before we can actually start the game here. All right, so while we're waiting, we'll mention that you are watching Marietta College Esports. We do thank you for spending your afternoon to watch League of Legends. I know there are so many other things that you could be watching right now. So, for example, I know that Worlds is going on. I think last I checked, Team Liquid was playing. In fact, I think I can pull up here how they're doing so we can actually keep tabs of the game here. So let me just check here while we are waiting. I'm going to pull up their site here because I'm sure there's a box score on there that will tell me how they are doing in Worlds right now. So it is live. I'm gonna try to see if I can get a box score. Okay, so it looks like the game ended. And I'm trying to see who actually won. I'm sure those of you who are watching already know that. Yeah, it looks like Team Liquid did win the match. Or yeah, it looks like they did win. Yeah, I don't have too much other than some goal differences and kills, but yeah, it does look like the Team Liquid did win. So good job on them. So we still got about a minute and a half here of spectator delay. So as I mentioned, so this is Marietta College Esports. We do try to broadcast as many of our matches as possible. So we do actually have several teams this year. So not only do we have our League of Legends team, but we have our Overwatch and Rocket League team, and they just played earlier today. We have our Rainbow Six team, and they're competing in Collegiates R6. They competed yesterday, and next week they'll be playing against a team. We don't know who yet, but we'll get that information out to you. We do have our Fortnite team, and they are doing exhibition matches for the Great Lakes Esports Conference, and a couple of them will be participating in Collegiate Star League as well. We do have an NBA 2K team that will also be participating in Collegiate Star League. And finally, we have our PUBG team that's been competing in the Collegiate PUBG tournament that's been going on for the past couple of weeks. So we do have a lot going on. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on, be sure to follow us. You can follow our Twitch channel here for whenever we go live. We try to broadcast as many matches as possible. You can also follow us on Twitter at Marietta Esports. You can follow us on Facebook at Marietta College Esports. So we try to keep all those updates there. You can even subscribe to our YouTube channel, bit.ly/Marietta College Esports. All of our matches get broadcasted. Well, they don't get broadcasted there. They get uploaded there a week after the match. So next Saturday, you will see this broadcast being uploaded there. And if you don't want to wait a week, you can watch our VODs on our Twitch channel, but that does require a subscription. So your subscriptions actually do help support our program. Any of the proceeds there will help towards purchasing additional equipment, supplies. We're working on trying to get scholarships going, get jerseys, complete things for the room, be able to hire staff. So your support is greatly appreciated. In fact, because of your support, we do have a new emote that you can use in the chat. We do have the Mariette for Pio Smile, which just makes us do the Mariette for, hopefully once we are partnered with Twitch, we'll be able to adjust that, but we do have a new emote, so thank you for your support, and with additional support, we'll be able to provide more emotes for your viewing pleasure. Alright, so let me get the spectator set up here. Looks like we are getting started. So let me get in here for you. So here we go. Hasn't loaded up yet. Give it a second. There we go. So this is game one of Marietta College versus Mount Vernon Nazarene University. Marietta is on the red side, Mount Vernon is on the blue side. So we'll see anything going on in the beginning. Doesn't look like there's any invades. Looks like your typical 5-point line of scrimmage. Seems like Mount Vernon's kind of hovering over the blue buff. And for Marietta, they haven't revealed where they're going to start yet. I would anticipate the red buff, but we'll see in a couple seconds. Okay, let me see if I can get the audio here going. So it looks like it was not picking up just a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't look like... Okay, so we'll have to tweak a few things with the audio. So let me see if I can up that a little bit so you can hear the game audio whenever I'm not talking. should be a little bit better. So hopefully you guys will be able to hear the game while I'm talking. It might actually be a little too loud now. And of course, we do see Marietta actually is starting on the red side for the jungle. Okay, yeah, you should be able to hear the game audio now. Yeah, nothing too much going on early in the game here. They wouldn't expect to 2 minutes into the game. We do see some pings going out. So Marietta, yeah, they get a nice little ward into the jungle. You see Leo taking actually some damage again. Very low and has to flash away. And Caitlyn does get the first blood for Mount Vernon. So that was just Leo getting caught out by Thresh. And Caitlyn was able to punish. So Marietta will have to respond to that, so that does give Mount Vernon a slight gold lead. And we do see the gank at that point in the mid lane, and Nico has to actually flash away. So they do get at least a flash in the mid lane, so they might be able to take advantage of that later on. We do see the Thresh was trying to come out in the bot lane, but nothing connecting. Yeah, so not too much else going on. There's a couple of pings here and there. I might try to set something here. So it seems like the music is still not getting picked up as much as I would like. So I'll probably have to do little tweaks in between the streams to be able to get that to you. So hopefully you can still hear the game just fine. Right now, as far as from the CS perspective, we do see that in the top lane it's pretty well even, and in the mid lane, Larson does actually both in the mid and the bottom lanes. Marietta does have a CS lead, so even though Mount Vernon was able to get the first blood, excuse me, they're only just a couple hundred gold behind. A little damage training going in the mid lane, but not a whole lot. A little bit of ward clearing. And we do see the freshman has lost his mount, but Gangplank is getting very low. The Knight actually goes out in the flash and gets Gangplank very low, but will not be able to finish him off. Let's see if I can adjust something here that might help. Try that. Let's see if that makes a difference. So I might be able to do this as well. See if we can make a few more adjustments here. So we do see some pings coming out, so it looks like there may be a gank attempt in the mid lane. We see Volibear coming in. And Larson's getting very low, and we'll actually have to flash play, but we do see the counter gank by Nox. But Larson's getting very low. But I think he'll get away. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be any kills there. We're about 7 minutes into the game, and the goalie is only still by a couple of hundred. So Marietta is they're keeping pretty well even in farm, and we do see Cressman losing his mount again, so he is at about half health. But we don't see any gank attempts going on into the lane. So we're just a matter of kind of waiting until the jungler's at level 6. We see that Sejuani is now level 6, so and actually is waiting there to possibly make a play. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So Nox is just going to kind of move over to... Yeah, he's just going to move over to continue his campaign. We do see a little bit of training going top lane. In fact, Cressman's getting pretty low, but so is Gangplank, and Volibear is heading towards the top lane. You see Volibear trying to get Cressman. He's getting very low and will end up going down. Volibear actually pops his ult to make that happen. And actually, while that was going on, we saw a little bit of action going into the mid lane, but nothing quite connecting there. Not a whole lot else going on here. A little bit of pings going on in the mid lane, but not too much other activity. You do see Cressman get a little bit of damage onto Gangplank, but nothing quite there connecting. So with the extra kill, Mount Vernon is ahead by just a little over 1,000 gold. So Maria's going to have to look for a way to respond. You see another gank attempt going on in the mid lane. And Larson will get caught in it. It looks like he will go down. Meanwhile, we see the gank attempt going into the bot lane, although Caitlyn was able to escape using Thresh's Lantern. You see Cressman's starting to get some damage onto Gangplank, and will force him to retreat. At least a little bit. But Volibear is starting to head up towards the top lane. But Cressman will get out. He's going to try to get out. Meanwhile, Marietta will go for the dragon and should be able to get this Ocean Drake. It doesn't look like Mount Vernon will try to contest it. And Cressman, this seems like he overextended, and he will end up going down. So although Marietta did get the Ocean Drake, Mount Vernon does have 4 kills over Marietta, so they are ahead by 2,000 gold 11.5 minutes into the game. And while the trading is going on, Mount Vernon was able to take the Rift Herald. And they may be trying to push that in the mid lane while Larson was trying to get some turret plating. Larson was trying to poke a little bit. Sejuani was in there to get the ult, and they do get the Volibear, so very good collapse onto the mid lane, so that is a double kill for Nox. So that should give Mary a chance to push onto the mid tower, and they should be able to get first tower. So this is exactly what Marietta needs to get back into the game. So with that, actually 13 minutes, Marietta is now ahead by 700 gold. So that was a little risky. Larson did get caught there, and it was fortunate that Nox and the bot lane were up there to roam to help with that. It's almost as if they planned it that way. You see Cressman trying to get onto Gangplank, but he is going to have to back away because of how low he is. So some pings are going out, but now we'll just have to see what the next objective is. There is a very slight lead, and we do see the differences in the CS in both the top and the bottom lanes, with Gangplank and Caitlyn being ahead over the things respectively. So that is what's keeping Mount Vernon right in the game, because right now they're actually, because they have the CS, the gold is pretty dead even by just about 100 to 200 gold difference. So it looks like we do see some things going on in the jungle. We do see the charge going in, and it all goes out, and it does whiff onto Volibear, but he's getting very low. And it looks like he will go down, so that is a kill from Marietta, and Nico's coming from behind. And actually, Nico's getting very low from Syndra. The stun there took a lot of damage, and the ult will come out to finish off Nico. So right now it's a 2 for 0 for Marietta, and it looks like Gangplank will be backing off. So this is a very good catch in the jungle, and allow Marietta to get a couple more kills. Looks like we do see Syndra kind of come down. He's going to get caught with the ward, but it still might be enough. So we see the Leona ult coming out, and Syndra will go in. Although Gangplank will pop his ult to disrupt, but Caitlyn does go down for Mount Vernon. Pressman does try to get some damage with Gangplank, but he does take a couple of turret hits, so he will have to back off a little bit. So very well executing the bot lane just to be able to get Caitlyn down, and with her being out, that is going to be a bit more CS for Jinx, and a little bit more pressure. And actually, Thrash got very low, and Jinx was able to finish him off, so that's another kill for Marietta. Although the Rift Herald was being summoned in the mid lane, Nico tried to use the ult to catch Nox, and does not connect. So actually, the Rift Herald does take some damage. Does do some damage to Marietta's outer tower, but does not finish it off. And Marietta's converging into this Infernal Drake is already at half health. And I don't think Mount Vernon's going to be able to respond to this. So Marietta's got 2 Drakes now. So although they did give away some early unnecessary kills, they are finding their way back, and now they are up by about 2,000 gold 17 minutes into this game. So then the question is going to be, what will be the next objective? So will they be, so what time is it? So we got about 17 minutes. So way too early for Baron, it's not even up yet. So I would expect maybe pressure in the top tower, since that one's not down yet. In fact, we do see Sejuani kind of heading towards the jungle camp. We actually see the lane swap. So Jinx and Leo's going to be heading up there. So it looks like the priority will be that top outer tower for Marietta. And it looks like this time Nox is going to get caught out by 3 from Mount Vernon, but he is going to retreat. It is a bit tanky, but the Marietta starts to collapse. At least the Syndra is starting to get there, and it forces Mount Vernon to retreat. So in fact, Nico's taking some damage and had to flash away, but Marietta is trying to chase her down, but she will get away. But we may be looking at a potential dive in the top lane while there is pressure in the bot lane. But yeah, right now Mary has complete control of Mount Vernon's red jungle. So we could very well be seeing a dive here very soon. And we see the Gangplank ult coming out. So Mount Vernon's bot lane was able to take the tower down there, and they're going to continue to push towards the inner tower. So Marietta may be forced to respond to this. But there are pings going out. The Volibear has been spotted. But Marietta is just trying to keep control of the red side jungle so they can try to spot out where Volibear is. In fact, we do see the pings coming out from Mount Vernon. They have an idea of where Marietta is, but they are going to dive right onto Gangplank, and he just gets popped. And Marietta is able to secure the tower. Meanwhile, Mount Vernon's bot lane did have to reset, and now they are going up to the bot lane to try to contest the fact that Marietta has 4 people for the top inner tower. And we do see a little bit of a game going on here, and the team fight is happening into that top lane. The Nico will come out but does not connect. The Sejuani is used for disengage. Syndra will get some good damage onto Thresh. It gets very low. But doesn't look like we're going to get any kills there. But that was a really good Sejuani ult to disengage that fight. Getting very low there. And it looks like Marietta will try to rotate a little bit towards the mid lane. At least get some minions cleared to start pushing. And this gives Kled some time to do some split pushing. And his teleport is up, so he can come in at any time that he's needed. So now the Pioneers will reset and cash in some of their gold. So right now, about 20 minutes into the game, Marietta is ahead by about 2,500 gold. And Mount Vernon will try to at least establish some vision on the Baron to see if Marietta would try to go for it early. I would not anticipate a very early Baron, at least while everyone is still up. So we just see everyone kind of taking jungle camps here and there, just getting their farm up. And we do see Ocean Drake will be up in about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So that was most likely where the next team fight will be. Meanwhile, they just keep clearing the wards. In fact, Marietta's doing a pretty good job with their vision. They have a couple deep wards in both the blue and red jungles, so they can see if Volibear is rotating around. You can see a little bit more visual control going on in the Baron pit. With 35 seconds left in the ocean for Ocean Drake to spawn, I would expect Marietta to start converging down there. In fact, they actually have a lot of control wards in the blue jungle, so that way if Mount Vernon goes through there to catch them, they will get spotted and would be able to peel off for a fight. Gangplank is getting pinged, and he's going to get spotted because Marietta will clear the wards. So he knows that 2 of the Pioneers are there, and more pings are actually coming out in the mid lane. But it looks like Sejuani will start up the Drake. Meanwhile, Marietta's just kind of holding off to the side here, just waiting for a bait to see if anyone from Mount Vernon will go through that part of the jungle. Meanwhile, yeah, Sejuani and Kled can duo the dragon. Well, we might have something. Oh, well, Caitlyn was going to start heading towards it, but not quite. So Marietta was able to take the Ocean Drake, and I don't think Mount Vernon even knows about it. The charge is going to go out to try to catch the Caitlyn or Nico. Nico will get caught. He gets very low health and actually goes down, and Caitlyn goes down too. So both of Mount Vernon's carries are down. So this is exactly what Marietta needs for the push, but there are no minions there to help continue the push. So now they're going to have to go back down, clear some minion waves, and then looks like they're going to rotate. I think they're going to go for Baron. They might go for a Baron. I mean, 2 of the carries are down, but Mount Vernon's jungler is still up, so you could anytime both junglers up, you could have a 50-50 fight still. Although it would be very difficult for Mount Vernon to try to contest this with both their carries down for another 5 seconds. And Marietta does claim the Baron, so now they're going to back away, reset, and use this as a great way to push the lane. So we'll see if they try to do a 4-1 push, a 1-3-1. I would expect some type of multi-lane pushing here to get some pressure onto Mount Vernon. So we're at 23 minutes of the game, and the Pioneers are up by almost 5,000 gold. Almost. It's just a little shy of that. Looks like about 4,500 is more accurate. In fact, yeah, we do see the 1-3-1 push going here. Larson's teleport is up. Actually, no, Clay. Okay, I thought he was going to go down with Larson, but I guess not. So he's going to continue pushing up top. So Marietta is going with the 1-3-1 to try to get some pressure on all 3 of the inner towers. Although we do see Larson starting to head up towards the mid lane. Maybe looking for a potential pick because most Mount Vernon is in the mid lane to just try to take off that pressure on that tower. We do see some poke going out, and we see the Gangplank and Nico will come in, but Nico gets very low. And Nox actually, you're right. Yeah, Nico gets extremely low and gets away. I thought I saw the Zanyas. I was trying to figure out who had that, but I think it was just a stopwatch instead. So Marietta almost got the Nico down, but was able to get away. But they are getting poked down. But Thresh is actually getting very low. We notice something out, and Thresh actually gets popped, and so does Caitlyn. So that's 2 kills for the Pioneers. So that should be the inner tower. And Marietta is going to continue this push. Although they will back away. And Cressman in the top lane was able to get the top inner tower as well. So that's 5 towers to 1 for Marietta. 25 minutes of the game. Marietta is taking a commanding lead, and there goes Nico. So Volibear is going to be looking to try something in the top lane, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. So this should be an inhibitor tower, and maybe an inhibitor as well for Marietta. And in fact, that is an inhibitor for Marietta. So now that there's going to be even more pressure in the mid lane, Marietta's rotating down to the bot lane. See if they get that tower down. They should be able to without any issues. So the question is, how much more are they going to continue this push? We do see they're going to... Yeah, looks like... Yeah, looks like they're going to back off a little bit. Yeah, go back, reset. So now we're looking at... about what, an 8,000 gold lead, 26 minutes left in the game. At this point, I don't have the timers for Baron buff. That should be expiring by now. Actually, no, it's still up for a little bit longer. I need one of those LCS timers where it actually shows the Baron buff. Right? If you're hearing this, please add that to spectator mode. So now with the mid inhibitor down, Mount Vernon's going to have to continue having someone there to ward off the super minions. So that's going to open up the map for Marietta, because now they have a lot of control in the blue right side jungle on the left side. We do see an engage going on here, and Nico will use the fresh lantern to get away. That also pops the ult to, it's just as a defense mechanism, so she can't be targeted. But Marietta should have control of the mountain drake that's going to spawn in about 8 seconds. And I don't see a way for Mount Vernon to be able to contest that, but it looks like they feel like they're going to have to. So they're going to try to clear some vision, but they will get caught. So the mountain drake is less than half health. And Volibear is starting to head down there, but Marietta will get the mountain drake and break away. And Marietta will continue their push somewhere. Looks like bot lane. Meanwhile, Crest from the top lane is still continuing on the pressure out there. Baron buff has expired. We do see that Mount Vernon is going to collapse onto Crestman, so he is going to get punished for sticking around a little too long. He even flashed away to try to get away, but just doesn't quite get away. Meanwhile, Marietta is putting all that pressure in the bottom lane, so since everyone converged up to take down Fled, the rest of Marietta is actually down working on the inhibitor tower, and we do see a little bit of engagement going on here. In fact, Volibear is less than half health, uses the fresh lantern, but does not quite be able to touch in time. And we do see the Citric coming out, and Nico goes down, so that's 2 down for the Pioneers. And it looks like Fresh is going to get out, so that's 3 down, and now they're going to go for the game plan and get both of them down. So that is an ace for Marietta. That should be enough to finish the game. So both of the Nexus towers are down, so all that, now they're both down, so all that's left is to get the Nexus down itself. And there you have it. 28 minutes in, Marietta does take game 1 of this best of 3 series with Mount Union. So very well done by the Pioneer. Why does it say 1 and 2? That is not correct. That should not happen. Let me see if I can get that score to reset real quickly. Just hang for 1 second. I thought I fixed that from the Overwatch match. So let's try this again. Okay, so now we'll do that. We may just have to fix it over here. Okay, that's better. Yeah, not so sure why that happened, but okay. So Marietta did win the first game. So now we'll get the lobby set up for the second game. So just hang tight for a minute. So don't go away. I'm going to step away just a second to make sure we get things set up, but I'll be back in just a minute or so. All right, welcome back. Sorry for the wait. We're just making sure we get things set up in the lobby. So we should be getting that up soon. So once we get the pick and ban, the pro draft set up, we will be able to show that. So we just kind of wait just a little bit while that's going on. So I think the teams are still talking things over. So they do have the lobby, so I'm just waiting for pro draft. Yeah, they're just getting the they're just getting the links here. Yeah, it looks like Mount Vernon was set the pro draft for this game. Okay. So getting that. So let's go ahead and get that set up for you. Yeah, so Mount Vernon will be on the blue side, Marietta will be on the red side. So as soon as we see the timer, then we will be underway. Meanwhile, I will try to check a couple things with the sound. Try this a little bit to see if that helps. And we're just waiting for both sides to be ready for the draft. So as soon as it pops up, we do see the ready checks coming in. Yeah, in fact, it's already started. So Mount Vernon immediately bans Syndra. They do not want to play against it. Marietta goes with the Morgana. They still don't want to play against her in the support lane. We'll see what Mount Vernon also does as far as adjustments go. I mean, we should expect the Syndra. That was a very good game for Larson. We see the Jarvan being banned out. Now we'll see how Marietta responds. We still see the Mundo being banned, so it doesn't look like there's going to be any major changes. Zoe still gets banned out in the mid lane. That does possibly open up the Ahri for Larson, so I don't know if you would take that this early in the draft. And Marietta will go ban the Gangplank. And Mount Vernon actually first picks the Ahri. Okay. I do remember their mid laner does like playing Ahri. But the fact that they first pick it is interesting. I think they knew that they didn't first pick it, that Larson was going to take it. So we'll see what Mary decides to do to counter that. And they are hovering over the Rakan, so this could be a Xayah Rakan comp for the bot lane. And in fact, we do see the Xayah Rakan comp for the bot lane. Now we'll see what Mount Vernon decides to go with next. So it looks like they're gonna go. They're gonna keep the Caitlyn Thresh comp in the bot lane. So I guess they still feel pretty good about that from last game, and maybe use that to counter the Xayah Rakan, gain the hooks. But I mean, Rakan would be able to get away pretty quickly. But now we'll see how Mary decides to respond and what they want to pick. I mean, they may go ahead and pick their mid. Oh, look, they're gonna go with the Nocturne in the for Nox. So now we're in the second phase of the second ban phase, I should say. We'll see what the Pioneers decide to ban next. Oh, yeah, their next ban. So Mount Vernon still needs to pick their jungler and top lane. While Marietta still needs to pick their top and mid. So we see the Jax getting banned, so we will not see him in the jungle. Now we'll see what Mount Vernon decides to go with for their ban. They're going to still ban the Akali. So that was what was banned in the last game. So we will not see Larson on Akali. Now, how does Marietta respond to this? They still have a few seconds left. And it looks like they're going to ban the orange, so we will not see him in the top lane. And we won't see the Shen for Cressman. So that might have been a potential pick. I know Shen's becoming popular in the top lane, so we will not see that. Now we'll see what Marietta decides to go with. So they still have to pick their top and mid lane. And they decided to go with the Renekton for the top. So that does give Mount Vernon a chance to counterpick. It looks like they're still going to stick with the Volibear for the jungle. So they haven't confirmed it yet, but they're hovering over it. They got 5 seconds to, oh, actually now they're hovering over the Sejuani, so they may take that. And in fact, they do decide to go with the Sejuani for the jungle. So now they just need to pick their top laner to see what they decide to do. They try to counter Renekton. And they picked the Heimerdinger. Okay. So I guess they're going with Heimerdinger top? I mean, I'm not going to say I haven't seen it, but don't see it that often. So now we'll see what Mary decides to pick for their mid. And we're going to see the Talia come in here. So very interesting comp. So that's going to give Larson some more global presence with the ult. So now we'll see, well, there's your composition there. The Heimerdinger pick is still very, very interesting. So the ready checks are coming out. It looks like everyone is ready, so we should be starting up. So here we are with the Game 2, Marietta College versus Mount Vernon. Right now, we're just kind of have to go through the motions at this point to select the champions. Actually, that's a little loud, so let me adjust that a little bit for you guys. That's a little loud even for me, so I don't think that's the audio that needs to go up. All right, that's a little bit better. That should be better for you guys. All right, I still have to take a look at the audio for the actual match, because I know for some reason, like if I don't talk, sometimes it doesn't quite pick up, so that might be a sensitivity issue I have to work with OBS. But we'll get it figured out eventually.
Don't think you a big sissy.
Meanwhile, we're still just gonna have them pick out the champions here. I'm still talking about that Heimerdinger. That just seems very interesting.
I'll come back stronger.
I mean, I guess the advantage is with the turrets that can put some damage onto Renekton before he can actually do anything. So it does seem like a viable counter pick, but we'll just have to see how it goes. I mean, one of the downsides with Heimerdinger is he does have low mobility, whereas Renekton does have some decent mobility. So that may come back to bite him eventually. Especially the fact that in this kind of comp, there's a huge global presence for Marietta's comp with the Nocturne Darkness and Talia's ult. They can both get to a particular lane very quickly. So right now we're still just kind of picking the champions, going through the ban phases. Don't know why it should take very long. We already know what we're picking, so we can pick it in and get on with the next game.
So I go.
So now we can start picking the champions now that the bans have been taken care of. So they're still taking their time with the champions, even though, I mean, I'm wondering maybe they're just discussing strategies and kind of waiting before the game starts to kind of plan how they're going to use their comps and how they're going to go against the other comps. That's the only explanation I can think of, and it's probably wrong. But we finally do have the champions selected, so we have to wait for the game to load, and then we would have to wait 3 minutes for the game to actually stop. So while we are waiting, just as a couple of reminders, so this is our best of 3 series. So since Marietta took game 1, if they do win this game, they do win the entire series for League of Legends. If Mount Vernon takes this, then we will go to a game 3. And if you haven't done so yet, please be sure to follow us on social media. So you can follow our Twitter page at Marietta Esports. You can follow us on Facebook at Marietta College Esports. You can follow our YouTube channel, bit.ly/Marietta College Esports. You can probably also just search for it as well. So this match will be up next Saturday around this time. But if you want access to our instant VODs right away on our Twitch channel, please be sure to subscribe to it. But your subscriptions do help benefit the program, so that way we can use it for supplies, equipment, and so forth. And you get perks as well for doing that, because you would get access to all of our VODs, so all of our matches. You would also get access to our new emotes that we've been able to release thanks to your support. Now, you may be thinking, I don't want to cough up $5 for a subscription. That's a lot of money. Well, what you can do is, if you have Twitch Prime, then you don't have to pay $5, because you can just use a free subscription that you get every month by Twitch, and you can use that on any streamer you want. You can even use that Twitch Prime subscription to help us at no additional cost to you. Now you might be thinking, I don't want to pay for Twitch Prime, because that itself is a subscription. So even though it gives you free in-game loots, or even other services, like a couple months ago, you could have gotten Nintendo Online for free. I know they've given out loot for League of Legends with champion capsules, and even perks for those of you who like to play Teamfight Tactics. But if you don't want to pay for that, I have a secret for you. If you have Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime for free. That's right. So all you have to do is create a free Twitch account, and then you can just go over to Amazon Prime, connect your Twitch account to it, and then you get to basically watch, or not, well, you can watch the streams anyway with a free Twitch account. You can actually watch it without a Twitch account, but if you link your Twitch account to your Amazon Prime account, then you get Twitch Prime for free using your Amazon Prime account. So not only you get the 1 to 2 day shipping with Amazon Prime and the lower prices, but you get the free sub every month. I should mention that as well. Every month you get a free sub. That's like Twitch giving you $5 for free every month that you can give towards any streamer you want. So you could give that to us to help us with building our program, because we still have a lot of things we would like to do. Like one of the big things we really want to do is actually have live matches in the gathering place. Everyone I talked to said that sounds awesome. We're still working on the logistics for that, so I'm hoping as early as next semester we will be able to have live commentary at the gathering place, so people can come by and watch it for free. So your support will help make that a reality. All right, I think I've given my little shameless plug for a good amount of time. So we should be getting into the game very soon, now that the spectator delay is over. So once we have the game up, and I'll try to see if I can tweak the audio a little bit as we're getting the interface set up here. And hopefully that will allow us to hear the game if I'm not actually saying anything in particular, but hope that at the same time make sure that the audio is not too loud that you guys can't hear what's going on either. Once we have that going, okay, so let me see if I can work on a few things here. That's that. Let me see if I can. Let's see what that does. See if that's any better.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay, that's not too bad. Although it looks like we're still getting the same issue, so I'll have to do some more tweaking here to help with that. So let me go ahead and get the game to you, since we are kind of underway here. Wait, that's the wrong one. Let's do that. There we go. So here we are, game 2 of Marietta College versus Mount Vernon Nazarene University. Sorry, Mount Vernon. So Marietta is on the red side, and it looks like Marietta is kind of hovering over the jungle. It's not cool. A little bit of an invade, not like a 5-person invade, but they are trying to get some wards. In fact, they did get a ward onto the red jungle buff. So Marietta is able to spot out at least where Sejuani and Ari are. And they even know that one of the bushes there is warded. So Mount Vernon will still start with the red buff, even though Marietta will spot out. And Marietta, of course, will start with their blue buff. So what's going to be really interesting here is the matchup in the top lane. I really want to see how Renekton does against Heimerdinger, because that was picked after the Renekton pick as an attempt to counter pick. And it should be favorable for Heimerdinger because the turrets can be able to poke out more of the minions to make it a little bit more difficult for Renekton, but we'll still see how this goes. And you see Talia already getting a lot of damage onto Ari. Well, not a whole lot of damage, but some damage. So there's some trading going back and forth. But we do see Talia at least able to get a lot of pressure onto the tower already. You see the hook coming in, and Brimstone had to flash away and heal, pop both of his summoners. So bot lane's got to be very careful because their AD carry is very exposed now without the flash and the heal. See the charm coming out for Talia, but is able to break that.
Sometimes I wish rocks could get...
Right now, not too much, although we do see Doxer will do a little bit of counter jungling, gain some vision so they can spot out exactly where Sejuani is, and we may see a gank attempt going on in the top lane, and I don't think Heimerdinger will be able to catch this. And he doesn't really have a whole lot of mobility, so they're going to be able to get a lot of damage, although Renekton's getting low, and he's going to flash away, but First Blood does go to Nocturne. Meanwhile, there was a gank attempt in the mid lane, and Larson had to pop one of his summoners, but didn't have to pop a splash to get away. So just a very good gank attempt there in the top lane. So well done. Yeah, very well done by Nox there to take down the Heimerdinger. In fact, actually Heimerdinger had to pop both, and we do see that Caitlyn was able to retaliate and get a kill onto Brimstone. So they're gonna have to be a little careful down there because you don't want to get an AD carry going there. Let's see if Sejuani is going to try to get an attempt onto Larson, although he is going to move away a little bit, so that way if Sejuani were to try something, that he could get away, but looks like Sejuani is just going to head down and get the Scuttle Crab over in the bot side jungle. Meanwhile, we do see Nox kind of still up in this red jungle getting the Gromps. I would not expect another gank attempt right away. And we do see that Larson had to flash away from the gank attempt, although Ari's getting very low, so close to finish off, and actually Larson will get the kill. So even with the Sejuani there, Larson is able to get the kill on the Ari. So this is well played there by Larson. So he's going to be able to continue the push. So right now, overall, Marietta's doing pretty well. But it's only about 5.5 minutes into this game, this best of 3 series. And do notice that quite a few people have been joining the channel, so I don't know where all of you came from, so welcome. You are watching Marietta College Esports, Marietta College versus Mount Vernon Nazarene University. This is a best of 3 series as part of the Great Lakes Esports Conference. It's week 4 of the conference in the fall season. So this is a best of 3. Marietta College was able to take game 1. So if they win this game, then the match will go to the Pioneers. Otherwise, if Mount Vernon wins, this will go to a game 3. So those of you that are joining us, welcome, thank you, and hope you have a good time watching our Pioneers compete in League of Legends. So we do see the hook that's getting onto Brimstone. He's getting very low. The Knight's going to go out and get ticked off, and he will go down. So that is another kill for Caitlyn. So it just seems like the bot lane is not necessarily respecting the Thresh hook, because with the flash still being down, if you get hooked and flayed, then it's going to be very difficult to escape. And we see Leah getting some damage onto Ari, and Ari will get away, but extremely low. But it doesn't look like Ari's going to reset just yet, even though there's about a quarter of a health left. Well, if Leah's going to come in and try to get some poke onto Ari, at least get the minions clear to put some pressure back into that mid tower, try to get some more turret plating. Meanwhile, Heimerdinger's just putting a lot of pressure into that top lane, so even though he was down to kill, he's still pretty even on CS. And I guess you gotta thank his turrets for that. We do see some pinks going out in the bot side jungle. So looks like they're trying to figure out where Sejuani is. They don't know for sure, but they are pinging correctly. And it looks like Talia's going to be catching the Sejuani. And Sejuani will have to flash away. So great move there by Larson to spot out the Sejuani to force out the flash. So that's going to make it more difficult for Sejuani to get a gank to him. And we see Brimstone getting hooked again. It has to use his flash and heal to get away from that. And getting hooked and flayed again, getting very low. And we see the teleport coming out for Renekton. And that might have been just a tad too late. So right now, at about 8.5 minutes in, Mount Vernon does have the gold lead by about 1,000. And it looks like a lot of that is because of the kills in the bot lane. So Caitlyn is getting very powerful. And if the Pioneers are not careful, that is going to allow Mount Vernon to snowball this game. So we do see some pings going on. There was a little bit of roaming going on in the mid lane, but it doesn't look like anything actually connected there. So meanwhile, bot lane, Caitlyn is still continuing with the pressure, although it's getting very low on pretty much out of mana, so they may have to back off and reset, which may give Marietta a chance. Yeah, they are going to reset, so that's going to give Brimstone a chance to at least push back a little bit and try to catch up on CS, because with 3 kills behind and very behind on CS, although it looks like with that back, that gives Marietta the green light to go for this Infernal Drake. Or at least clear the vision. So it doesn't look like they're going to go for the Drake just yet. I mean, there's still that 50-50 smite with the Sejuani, but they're at least able to have vision control over that Drake. We do see a little training going in the top lane, and we do see the ult coming out for Talia to get onto Heimerdinger. He's already at half health, and he'll pop his ult to get away, but he's still hovering around the tower. And we see the feathers flying, but nothing's quite really connect there. Meanwhile, it looks like Mount Vernon's going to be going up for the Infernal Drake. So right now, the Darkness is coming in, and it gets the Smite Steal onto the team, and able to get the kill onto Sejuani. So a really good play there by Nox. That was just well timed to get the Darkness in, so they couldn't see the Dragon, and get that Smite Steal. Meanwhile, RA is going to try to get something Nox, but he will pop the stopwatch to stop that, but yeah, just very well played there. I mean, it looked like bot lane was in complete control of that portion of the map, and just a really good job there to be able to take the dragon, because that's exactly what Marietta needs to get back into this game. As you said, there is to get a little more turret playing in the mid lane as well. I'll have to see what the next objective is going to be, because the next Drake will be Infernal, but that won't be for another 4 minutes. So I would expect Marietta to try to get pressure into one of the lanes. Although right now, looks like the conversion is going to be onto that Heimerdinger again. So we see Larson there getting onto Heimerdinger. I don't think he's going to be able to escape from this. He will pop his ult, but it does not get any kills. So meanwhile, Brimstone got extremely low in the mid lane, but looks like Mount Vernon's going to try to do some pushing into that mid lane tower. Meanwhile, Cressman's going to be able to put pressure in the top lane tower and start getting some turret playing. That's only going to be up for about another minute, so you want to try to get as much of that turret playing as possible for the extra gold. So 13 minutes into the game, Mount Vernon is still up by about 1,200 gold. But Marietta is trying to fight back. And it looks like they're going to be using their mid and top lane champions to carry the game. So we see Rakan going, the Darkness goes out onto Caitlyn, and Caitlyn does go down, so the shutdown does go to Nocturne. Thrash is getting pretty low on health, and he might actually go down. In fact, he does go down, so that's 2 for nothing. And we're not done yet. Sejuani's trying to go in. The flash is going to be coming out because Ari's getting extremely low. And we see Nocturne trying to slow down Sejuani, does so, and Larson gets another kill. So that is a 4-0-1 to Leah, and actually a 3-4-0 for Marietta. So that gives the Pioneers, well, they're back in this game, and not only they're back in the game, but they're actually now ahead by, looks like about 1,200 gold. So now they're up by 1,200 gold. At this point, the turret playing has now fallen, but Marietta's getting very close to finish off the mid tower, and we do see Caitlyn and Thresh coming back in to at least defend the tower. So we do see Rakan kind of heading back down. So this may be a chance to get control of some vision down there. So we see that Larson got the Scuttle Crab, is getting his blue buff. Rakan's going down to the Tri-Bush to reestablish some vision down there. I mean, the Infernal Drake's now going to be up in about 1:40. So I think they're just going to try to get some control of the Dragon Pit, because that's going to be the next point of protection. And we do see the hook connecting with Brimstone, and he has to back away again. The Darkness is coming out onto Ahri, and she will go down. Although Nox is now going to have to try to get away, but looks like he will do so. So that is a very good gank attempt there by Nox, and Larson will pop his ult. It's just to kind of get the bot lane a little bit away from there to not re-engage onto Nox. So a good defensive mechanism there by Larson. And we do see Rekton popping his ult, and Heimerdinger has to burn his flash and ult to get away. And we do see Caitlyn actually takes some damage, and the Ignite goes down and does end up going down by Larson. And the Thresh hook connects, but there's nothing really to follow up with that. And Marietta is able to get the mid turret down. So just getting a couple of kills there finally gives him a chance to get that push. So now it's a 1-for-1 on turrets. So I would expect the next objective to be the top tower turret. In fact, we do see Larson already there. Yeah, I think he's ready to dive onto Heimerdinger, because he's already at half health. Although the turrets are starting to eat away a little bit at Renekton. And here comes the dive. And there goes the Heimerdinger. Now that does give Mount Vernon a chance to try to contest for this dragon, because they know that there's two from the top lane. Although the Darkness comes out, but it doesn't look like there's any follow-up with it. But Larson's already at the mid lane. His ult is up, so he can kind of like earth bend his way down if he needs to. And we do see a fight going, and Brimstone gets deleted, and so does MC Cowboy. So that's a 2-for-0 for Mount Vernon. Thresh is going to have to flash away, and Mount Vernon will take the Infernal Drake. But Larson was able to get the wall off and get Ahri down, but he will go down for Caitlyn. And we do see Nox having to take the ace in the hole, but it does not quite finish him off. So that's a 3-for-1 for Mount Vernon. So Marietta tried to defend it, but Mount Vernon was able to win the team fight, get the drag, and get 3 kills, plus a shutdown onto Caitlyn. So right now for Mount Vernon, Caitlyn is going to be their carry champion for this game. So Marietta is going to have to shut down the Caitlyn if they're going to be able to win this game. And with that, Mount Vernon was able to take their second tower for this game. Meanwhile, Mary is trying to get just a little bit of vision over by the Rift Herald. That's still going to be up for another 2 minutes. And meanwhile, Crestman is able to get some pressure onto the bot tower. And it's very close to being finished off. Although with Ahri there to defend it, it's going to be a little bit difficult for Crestman to do that, so he'll just back away. And we do see some pings going out. Looks like Rakan may be in a rough spot, but he'll just dash away. Meanwhile, Marion is going for the Rift Herald and does secure it. Let's go up to see where they use it. But Caitlyn started trying to get onto Rakan. But yeah, doing a lot of damage here. It already has an Infinity Edge. Now we'll just see what the next plan is. So things are going out in the bot lane. Crestman should be able to finish up the tower. There it goes. So he may continue his push. Meanwhile, 3 from Mount Vernon are in the mid lane, continuing their push towards the mid inner tower. And Mount Vernon will just try to clear up some vision, because right now Marietta does have a lot of vision in their blue jungle. so that at least gives an idea of where everyone's at. And it looks like the next dragon is another Infernal Drake, but that won't be up for another 2 minutes and 20 seconds. But we'll probably see everyone start to establish vision, and oh boy. Well, that just happened. So Larson just baited out the Heimerdinger, and he just goes from full to 0 in like a split second. So I mean, we do have an 8-1-1 Talia, which might be a good way to fight off against the 5-2-1 Caitlyn. But yeah, just well played there by Larson, just to hold off a little bit, be patient, and then finish off the Heimerdinger. So right now, 20 minutes into the game, Marietta is ahead by 3,000 gold, 35-32. So can Marietta utilize this gold lead? It looks like they're going to get some vision into the Dragon Pit because the Infernal Drake will be up in about 1:30. So those of you that have joined us, thank you for watching Marietta College Esports. I think several of you are from Blind Wave. So hello, Wave Riders. Thank you for joining us. And we do see there that Brimstore had to use his ult to get away, because if Thresh would have landed the hook onto the darkness is going out onto Caitlyn, and actually has to burn the plasma. The Talia wall's coming in, and there goes the Caitlyn, and Thresh is probably not going to be too far behind, and there's the double kill. So that's 2 for 0. Meanwhile, a bit of training going on here in the bot lane. So very well executed by the Pioneers to be able to take out the Caitlyn, and with that, they're going to pop the Rip Tail and get some pressure onto the tower. Meanwhile, Larson's going to try to get up to the Ahri, and the Ahri has to dash away. So there goes the mid-outer tower for Mount Vernon. So they're going to let Shelly just continue pushing, and Marietta is probably going to go straight for the okay, yeah, they're going to go straight for the dragon. Because that's going to be up in 30 seconds. Or actually, no, they're backing away to reset. And then I would expect them to come down, because Dragon's going to be up in 20 seconds. So they got to get over there quickly, because Mount Vernon is starting to head towards there. Like, they got to know that Mount Vernon's going to try to head for the dragon. And the only... No, Cressman does have his teleport, so he can jump in anytime that's needed. And Mount Vernon's actually started up the Drake here. But we do see the Darkness is ready in case Nox wants to use it, but the Drake is already less than half health. So Darkness is coming in, but Mount Vernon will get the dragon, and Rakan actually goes down. But they're going to have to 2 for 1 from Marietta with Sejuani and Heimerdinger, but Nox goes down, the Caitlyn takes the kill. So it's a 2 for 2. And Marietta's going to have to disengage. So that is a 2 for 2, but it is a win for Mount Vernon because they were able to secure the Infernal Drake. So that is 2 Infernal Drakes to 1. Although Marietta's still around, and he's going to pop the wall to wall off the Caitlyn. Although it doesn't look like it's going to do much. When they get the Charmin, and Larson was able to take out the Caitlyn, and Cressman was able to take out the Thresh, so all that's left is the Ahri. Although Heimerdinger and Sejuani have respawned. And Ahri does go down, so Marietta kind of took their time and found the right opportunity to take them down. So that is an unofficial ace, technically. So that is a few more kills, and we see Sejuani is going to try to get the jump onto... Larson actually steals the red buff. So Larson tried to counter jungle, and Sejuani's like, "Yep." That was a good try. But yeah, we do see that 23.5 minutes into the game, Marietta has 19 kills to 8, and they are ahead by a little over 5,000 gold. So Mariatta's playing very well overall, but they still have to watch out for this 7-4-1 Caitlyn, which is still extremely dangerous. So they're going to have to lock her down if they're going to be able to continue this lead and expand on this lead. It's one thing to get the lead, but you're going to maintain the momentum and keep that going. So now the next question is going to be, what will be the next objectives? Because Cloud Drake's going to be up in 3 minutes. Baron is up, but I wouldn't expect anyone to go for Baron just yet, not at least another team fight, or if one of the junglers goes down. We do see some pinks going out in Mount Vernon's blue side jungle, just trying to spot out people. We see Larson getting a little bit of hope onto Caitlyn, but not much follow-up. We see Cressman doing some split pushing, and it looks like that Mount Vernon will collapse onto Cressman. He's going to know what's happening and start to back away. And this is going to be the cue for Marietta to go for the Baron, because if everyone's converging onto Cressman, that means Marietta can go for the Baron. Now Sejuani is starting to head over there. The Baron looks like he's about half health. But they should be able to play. It's about 2,000 health. What? 1,000? And they're able to secure the Baron, so now they just gotta back away because Mount Vernon's there looking for a team fight, but they're gonna back away too. So very well done to bait out the gank attempt in the bot lane to let Marietta be able to go in and take the Baron. So that was just well played there from the macro perspective. So now we'll see how Marietta can utilize the Baron buff. I would expect like a 1-3-1 push again. I mean, we already see Larson in the mid in the top lane and Cressman in the bot lane. Although Cressman is going to back away, and he gets away just in time before Mount Vernon was able to collapse on him. So now we'll see what does Marietta do next. So they're going to be, looks like do a 4-1 push maybe? At least clearing some jungle, maybe establish some vision. But they will try to put some pressure onto the mid lane here. And we see the caution pinks coming out in the blue side jungle. Maria's just trying to establish some vision control in there. Yeah, so Maria's doing I mean, if you take a look at their jungle, they have wards all over the place. So very well done by Marietta just to keep that jungle pressure, because they're going to know where Mount Vernon is at any point. So that's going to make it very difficult for Mount Vernon to respond. So bottom inner turret now goes down. And they're going to continue this pressure in the bot lane. Meanwhile, both mid and top are also getting some pressure. So you got Baron buffs on all three lanes here. So Sejuani trying to get the jump onto Nox, but is not going to be able to do much with it. And Cressman's able to take out the top inner turret. Yeah, that's the right one. And he's going to continue his pressure. They're trying to get some people from Mount Vernon to respond, which would open up opportunities to apply pressure in some of the other lanes. So you see Cressman kind of rotating down towards the mid tower. And sure enough, while that's going on, Nox is able to solo the dragon, so that's a free cloud drake for Marietta. I wasn't even paying attention to that part. That's my bad. And Larson actually popped the Talia ult to force Mount Vernon to back off a little bit, because will he use it? Will he not? They're not so sure. So it looks like they're still putting a lot of pressure into the bot lane, just looking for an opportunity to get the inhibitor, because they did get the inhibitor turret down. And Cressman's getting onto Heimerdinger, who has to pop his hourglass. Anyway, the Nox will go down with the darkness and take down Heimerdinger, although Nox is going to get caught by Ari and will use the Guardian's Angel to come back up, but this might be where he gets finished off, and there goes Nox, but that allows Brimstone to get the inhibitor in the bot lane. And Sejuani comes home and doesn't quite connect, and Caitlyn does get the shutdown onto Talia. Is able to get 2 kills and actually get a triple kill there, so that is a 1-for-4 in favor of Mount Vernon. So despite the fact that Marietta is up by about 8,000 gold, Mount Vernon is not done yet. They have a very scary Caitlyn, 11-4-1, 235 CS. That's still very dangerous. You have to keep the Caitlyn in check if you're going to get through, be able to penetrate the base even more. Although it does help that the bottom inhibitor is down, so that is going to apply the pressure with the super minions. But they still have a very, very scary Caitlyn. So Marietta's going to have to be mindful of that, because if they let the Caitlyn do whatever she wants, then they can come back in this game. Especially now that death timers are starting to become an issue. So actually, Baron's going to be up in about 1:25, so that could be the next possible target for Marietta. But we'll kind of see what's going on here. So not a whole lot of action yet, although Mount Vernon is trying to push up and try to re-establish vision in their jungles, trying to push away the minion waves. It was actually a great move to get the bottom inhibitor, because that's going to force them to put pressure to be able to. They have to respond to the super minions, which is going to open up the Baron pit, because someone has to be down there for Mount Vernon, because otherwise it's going to go straight for the Nexus towers. So we do see Marietta over at Mount Vernon's blue side jungle, just clearing it out, getting some vision. So just trying to gain more and more control over this map. And we see the darkness coming out, and Caitlyn just gets dropped. And this is exactly what Marietta needs. Now that Caitlyn is out, this is the chance. So you see the Talia ult coming out. And it doesn't look like he's going to ride the wave, although the Ahri gets caught and will go down. So that's 2 kills for Marietta. And they're not going to use this to go for Baron. They're actually going to use this to start going for the next inhibitor. They're going to get onto the Sejuani and has to flash away. And Sejuani will go down, so this is going to be another inhibitor. And they're going to continue putting pressure here. So they may try to get a couple of Nexus towers, although Caitlyn's going to be up in about 5 seconds, but the Heimerdinger is going to go down. 1 Nexus tower is falling. And Thresh is trying to defend it. The 2nd Nexus tower is falling. So now the area is just going to go for the Nexus, is getting under half health. And there you have it, folks. So Marietta does take the win there. So let's get that final screen up on there. So with that, Marietta does take down Mount Vernon Nazarene University 2-0. So very well executed there by the Pioneers, just keeping control of the map. And even though the Caitlyn was getting scary, they were able to find opportunities to take her down, so they were able to take care of the rest of the team. All right, so just a couple of programming notes while we have so many of you here watching. So first of all, thank you. I mean, we have like over 80 viewers right now, at least from when I'm seeing it. Now, 3 minutes from now when the delay comes in, it might be different, but the fact that so many of you are watching, thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. If you want to get the latest updates of what's going on with Marietta College Esports, please be sure to follow us on social media. Okay, now the numbers just jumped to 97. As soon as the match overs, of course, that's when all the people are watching. But you can follow us on our Twitter at Marietta Esports. You can follow us on Facebook at Marietta College Esports. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, bit.ly/Marietta College Esports. So all of our matches are there. Please be sure to follow us here on our Twitch channel as well. We try to broadcast as many of our matches as possible. So like next week, we will have our Rainbow Six match. We don't know what day or who the opponent is just yet. We will know the opponent on Sunday, and then we'll work on arrangements to figure out when the match will be. So once we have that figured out, we will get that to you. So that'll be posted on Facebook and Twitter. And then we'll be broadcasting our next round of the Great Lakes Esports Conference next week. So that's going to be a little interesting. So we are playing both Defiance and Ohio Northern next week. So Defiance has a Rocket League team, but they don't have Overwatch or League of Legends. And Ohio Northern has Overwatch or League of Legends, but not Rocket League. So 9 o'clock next Saturday, we'll be playing against Defiance. And then at 11 o'clock, we'll be playing against Ohio Northern in Overwatch. I should say 9 o'clock against Defiance in Rocket League. 11 o'clock will be against Ohio Northern in Overwatch. And at noon, the League of Legends team will be playing against Ohio Northern and in League of Legends, of course. So, okay, now the viewer count has jumped over 100. So you guys come now after we win the game? Okay. Well, thank you. So I know that several of you are from Blind Wave, so give a shout out to all the Wave Riders there. Love you guys. Miss you guys from WaveCon earlier this year. So thank you for coming in for your support. So hopefully you'll be back here next week with us, so that way we can share more matches with you. So for all of us here at Marietta College Esports, we want to thank you for coming here and hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. If you're in the area, please make sure you take advantage of the homecoming festivities. We got the football game in about less than a half hour, so go check that out, cheer on the Pioneers, and try to get another victory there. So with that, hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon.